Teamfight Tactics, or TFT, is an engaging game of resource management, strategy, and risk-taking. And despite only being released about a year ago, it has quickly taken over the auto chess / auto battler genre. This video is intended to help beginners to be able to understand the mechanics of the game, as well as give a few useful tips of how to be able to improve their gameplay. So let's get started. First, let's talk about the mechanics. In TFT, you purchase different units which you place on a gridded board. You can upgrade each of these units by purchasing 3 of the same champion. Each round, your units auto-fight another player's units in your lobby. If you lose, you take damage based on the amount of enemy units left on the board and the point of the game which you are in. The first skill, and in my opinion the most important skill that we'll talk about, is economy. In Teamfight Tactics, there's 4 different ways in which you make gold. The first, you make gold each round passively. It's always 5 gold, except in the first few rounds. The second way in which you make gold is by winning a round and you get 1 additional gold. This is really nice, and we'll talk about later why that's a really influential 1 gold. The third way in which you can make gold is by going on a win streak or a loss streak, and you get an additional 1 to 3 gold at the end of a round based upon how many games you've lost or won consecutively. The fourth way in which you can make gold is through interest. At the end of each round, you gain 1 gold for every 10 gold you have, up to 5. So it maxes out when you have 50 gold and you get 5 gold back in return. Now, this is where that 1 gold from winning a round can really come into play. Because if you're at, let's say, 39 gold at the end of a round, if you win that round, it bumps you up to 40. So not only does that give you that 1 additional gold, but it actually gives you another one because you hit that $10 break point where you'll make another $1 at the end of the round. This is a big piece of the resource management side of Teamfight Tactics, is you spend gold to get stronger, but you have to save gold to make more gold. The biggest mistake that I see made by a lot of beginner TFT players is they'll end up starting to play and they spend too much of their gold early on, such that later they don't have an economy base to be able to keep up with the engines which were created earlier by other players. So initially it looks like they're winning, but as the rounds continue forward, the players who sacrificed a few life points early on have more money and end up winning the game. Because in the end, it doesn't matter if you have 1 life point at the end of the game. As long as you're alive and everyone else is dead, you won the game. The second skill to improve your gameplay in Teamfight Tactics is understanding synergies. This is probably the biggest learning curve for new players coming into the game, is understanding what all the different synergies do for your units and how they help them improve. Although I won't talk about all of the different synergies that there are in the current game, I will talk about 3 suggestions that will help you to be able to learn the synergies and be able to get started as you play this game. The first is to be decisive. I think too often players are indecisive early on and they end up wasting a lot of gold and resources and just don't choose a comp early enough such that they lose the game. So what I'd say is to find a composition that has at least 6 units in it. You know, right now there's like Chrono or Blade Master, and pick some of those types of compositions and just build those units initially and then add in other synergies kind of throughout. You'll learn very quickly what different synergies do as you read and as you play, and you'll start to learn very quickly. The second suggestion that I would give is to watch what you lose to. As you pay attention to the different compositions that your team personally loses to, you'll see other strategies and other ways to play the game that'll really help. The third suggestion I give is to watch streamers. They do a really great job at teaching the game and helping you understand what the best comps are in the current meta. The third and final skill that we'll talk about for Teamfight Tactics and improving your gameplay is understanding items. Items are absolutely crucial in Teamfight Tactics. They can really make or break a game. It's also very intimidating for new players because there's a lot of different combinations of items, and when you don't understand what they all do, it can be very difficult to be able to play at a top level. First, play with a cheat sheet. If you Google Teamfight Tactics items, you'll find many charts which will have the different item combinations, how they're made, and what they do. This will help you get into game fast and be able to play. The second is actually an in-game feature where when you get items from PBE rounds or from the carousel, you'll have them on like your bench and you can click on them and hover them over another item. And as you do that, you'll be able to see what item it'll make and what that item does. This is really useful, and as you do this multiple times, you'll start to understand what different items do. The third is as you watch streams of different players, they'll teach you what units to place those items on and what units benefit from which items best. So understanding where to place your units and what items to put on them is crucial. Well, I think that's about it. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that it will help you to be able to improve your gameplay and start winning out there. If you like this video, please comment, subscribe, and hit the thumbs up button afterwards. Thank you very much.